Now, hopefully, if you watch the last video, I left you with your mouth kind of open going. And I can imagine that you may have thought, wow, Alex has got some issues. Wow. See, the thing is, you're right. I do. I do have issues. I have issues. I have issues. I have issues. I look around, I see all this enslavement, all this propaganda, I see the earth raped. I have this issue with this. See, I see this internet, I see all this knowledge we have, I see all these people like saying they allegedly are with the goddess and Gaia and Mother Nature, and I see contradictions, and I have issue with that. I have issues with people being fake and phony and acting like, they're spiritual beings, but they only care about themselves, but they've got their own demons in their own closet, their own base nature is not as refined as it could be. I have issues with some of these things. In relation to women, which is obviously a topic I'm going to talk a lot more about because it's a part of us. We come from woman. We live in the world that she helped create along with man. We are a creation of ourselves, for better or for worse. And we see the forces of darkness attack the female energy. Not just women, but feminine energy within men. It's not just man versus women. This is not what this is. It's about an energy. It's about those that identify with the goddess, the feminine, and so much more. So many ways you can describe it in so many words. I don't get that complicated with deities, with religious stuff. I don't go there. But I do go there to a point and tell you, this stuff's real. This dark world, whether it's off-world or just Luciferian, earth-based, I see it on so many ways, try to warp our sexuality and divide us. You live in a world where there's so many sexual symbols and imagery and pornography, but it's not really a world that I see that's enshrouded with love. And I think men and women forget that in the so-called truther community, awareness community. I've seen a lot of people, I really don't talk about this enough. I just keep being worried I'm going to offend someone. I've already offended enough people. And my intention is just to help you evolve or help you see something a different way. Share my perspective. And I do know some people appreciate that, so that's all that I'm doing. I have seen women that look at the old new aging spiritual with like a guy that struts around like he's a badass, like he's an MMA fighter who wears a shirt saying tap out. I know this whole thing about opposites attract, but I started figuring out long ago, if you want to change the world, it relates to the partner you pick. It's the energy you share. So you're not just sharing fluids, you're sharing energy. That's why it's good to get to know someone before you get really close to them. But once you really get close to them, then you're sharing energy. Someone's aura or energy field could be overwhelmed. One could be sucking off of the other. It may not be balanced. One may be controlling. One may lean towards being controlled. There could be out of balance effects from being with someone that's not right for you. Now, a lot of people don't know this. They've never thought about this until now. It's 2013. We've had women's lib and all this stuff, or at least the illusion of women's lib, but still today we see people choosing partners that are ultimately bad for them. And I'm not saying that men are different. We can look at everything on a case-by-case basis. I've seen far too many men focus on a woman's body as opposed to her face, her eyes, the content of her character, and I'm isolated from the world of a lot of men. I don't know how many women are conscious of this based on the private conversations that we have, like the male conversation. I'm pretty much the same guy with them as I am with you. And topics of sexuality come up. Someone could ask me, hey, and such is wife hot? And I respond, I don't know that it's really proper for me to really respond to that. I may have my personal feelings about that, about how hot she is. But would I express those? We don't live really in that type of an open culture yet. This is a very much still a controlling culture. People are freaked out all the time, especially if I'm around. That I'm gonna work some magic and pull someone away from someone. People have pulled that bullshit around me for far too long. I'm tired of the egotistical nature of man. Man is fucked till man and woman change their ways. It's all very clear to me why the world is so fucked. It all comes down to who you're fucking. And whether you're letting, what happened with what. Maybe you want to fuck other people, but you don't want to get fucked back. Maybe you want to keep the world from fucking what you've got. There's different fuckings going on. People controlling and people being controlled in this natural dance. Ooga booga dance. I see it in this earth realm. Shit like that goes down. I want to consciously know and experience other realms that are not like that. Have I been there before? Am I working to get there now? I talked about going up or going down in the video before last, and in my thoughts for the day, where I shared a lot, and how I kind of look at this nature of reality, this holographic universe, just keep this loop. But how we express ourselves sexually is an expression of something far deeper energetically going on. So, that's what I take issue with. I take issue. I have issues. Alex got issues. This guy Alex has thought way too much about this. He must have issues. He must actually be one of the bad ones himself. I've also had this said to my face. I don't even want to get into all that, but I've taken my share of blows emotionally for speaking out against how women are subjectified. And we live in a day and age where people think that if you care about such a thing, then you have some sort of a covert agenda. And maybe I'm supposed to feel bad that I feel my female side, yet I'm straight and I like women, but I feel my female side. And I'm going, you cannot remain silent as these things are taking place, as troops can rape a woman and it can be known about. And they have no public persecution. You've heard me talk about this a lot, but I'm just, without freaking out and yelling, I'm just painting you a brief picture. You sweep it under the rug, you don't sweep it under the rug. There are cases where American women have been raped by their own troops. And the Pentagon has destroyed the rape kit, and it's in the news that it happened. At least the allegations are there, and there's not going to be a court case because they destroyed the rape kit, and you're seeing the pyramid and its control over all, controlling the women's minds in this machine as they removed us from the earth and they put us in this box, and we're in the metropolis, and they've shut down their hearts, and they're just mindlessly breeding as they're going up and down the turnstile, and I can see it so clearly why we're here, why all this is happening. It's so clear to me. How fast I can get out of this, that's not clear to me. How hard I gotta struggle to help get the word out, that's not really clear to me. But why we're in this, the male-female imbalance and all this, so profoundly clear to me. And I don't know how. I should contact John Gray. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Is it planetary? Is it genetic, the differences between us? Or is it programming? This is what a man is. This is what a woman is. This is what a man can care about. This is what a woman can care about. How much of those influences that you've been getting your entire life since the first day you stepped into the public educational school system? What was embedded there? What was put there? Can you find it? Can you find it? Did someone say because you don't look like her that you have no value? That no man's going to listen to you unless you look like a hot piece of ass? Was there a piece of programming that somehow got through to you and caused you to pretend like you don't know anything about shit, to wear hair that is not your natural color, to constantly try to be someone beautiful because you don't feel beautiful as you were made by the Creator? To go and maybe do something immoral in a survival situation, like steal from a man that you're going through a divorce with, take the money left on the credit card in your name so you can have some tits artificially, and so you can have a boob job. I'm thinking about a true story. and to forget about the truth that you've learned about the New World Order. You start taking antidepressants, you stop eating organic food, and you start eating Captain Crunch. I'm referring to a true story. See, I've seen that. I've seen what this dark side has done to women, and it hurts me. And I take issue with that, because when the women are hurt, when they are isolated, man, so are we. When they get to the point where they can't even trust us anymore. They read report after report after report after rape after rape after rape, and every year a bigger lock goes on the door. Maybe not physically, but certainly energetically, and certainly right here. And this is tearing apart our society. Most people will go mad, those that do go mad, that vast majority, because no one loved them or they never loved anyone else. It may have started with their upbringing and some sort of a major breakup with their family, or not. But we could even take a time to pray for those men, to reflect upon those men at least. All those men that have killed themselves, that have done time in Iraq and Afghanistan, just what the dark energies have done to men, and the self-destruction, and how it affects the family, and how this is so horrible for this country. And they tell women that they're all, we're an open society and whatnot, and yet what I'm seeing is not something that's freedom. The United Nations wants to legitimize prostitution. You can Google that in your sidebar. There are protesters and people that are, for human rights, that are concerned about the effect this could have on women. Of course, it's the UN. The same UN that said, we can't really go after these UN peacekeepers that have been accused of raping very young women all throughout the world. You can read about it. It's horrible. We can't go after it because it's such a big problem, and our operations are so huge. Just why bother? Says Ban Ki-moon. Now they're saying, they may need to legitimize it. Oh, but it's Orwellian. It's for human rights. Yeah, we have a karmic connection with the past, but men and women are connected to each other. I will testify before you that I believe I live in a world where the programming around me is saying that we're different. And we're in some sort of a rat race. And we need to manipulate each other to get what we want. And a lot of people's lives are spent dealing with relationships, trying to get in one or trying to get out of one, or trying to survive what one did to them. We're trying to survive what one did to them. That is horrible. The stories I have heard, others, the movies we have watched, and all these horrible things. When that happens, we forget to dream. You forget to have those real fantasies and just shoot for the stars. We can't necessarily have someone just like us. We have to be careful what we put out there. But we can ask for a truly good person to come into our life. Hopefully we'll be attracted to them, but an attractive, intelligent, spiritual person. We meet sometimes people like this in our lives. I know I've met several, but they're not with us forever. Why? Because we're not meant to be with them forever, because we know things. That's why we're drawn to each other, and we bump into people like us. We learn things, and we move on with our life. Sometimes it's like that. I know what it's like to love someone with all your heart, but not feel that love return, and then have to force yourself to move on and force yourself to let go. And that process may be taking a couple years of just pure pain behind the scenes, just to manage something like that, just to let go. It is tough. That's why so many songs are about love. But ultimately, we have to hold our focus, continue to love each other, and try to empower each other, not get involved in this man versus woman dichotomy bullshit. If you hate a man and you're a woman, you hate yourself. If you're a man and you hate a woman, you hate yourself. We're all connected here. And so this is something that I want people to think about. As things get worse, we're going to start to see men and women get more subjectified. And we're going to say, some of them are going to say, who the fuck cares? Fuck them. What did women ever do for us? What did men ever do for us? And they're going to stay on the sidelines. I don't want that to happen. And I don't want you to ever fall into the trap of letting that happen. But I see it coming. And you can do a lot to help rescue young men and women today that are being programmed by the system. You could be a true mentor covertly behind the scenes. Thank you for watching.